Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second quarter of Disease in U.S. History. We are about to embark on an entirely new era. So we've already finished up with our Civil War. So we're looking at the year 1865, and we're moving forward. We are in what we call the Industrial Revolution age. Now, there are several periods of industrial revolutions. This is about the second one that the United States would have been experiencing. With it came the onslaught of people moving and migrating into the cities. So you've got your people moving, your immigrants moving from Europe, particularly Germany and Italy and Ireland. And then you see a mass migration coming out of the South. The plantations are emptying out, people are moving off the farms, and they're moving out west or they're coming to the north. And they're coming to the cities because that's where the work is. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And I'm going to take a look at what we're going to be studying for the next few weeks. But this is particularly your checkpoint 7. So this is going to start us off. And I'm going to just read this to you real quickly. This lesson follows U.S. history as it moves into the modern age. The Civil War is over, and the first and second periods of the Industrial Revolution lay the groundwork for a changing nation. We see European migration, African Americans moving north, south, from the south, west, off of farms and plantations, and urban cities are sprawling, filthy and overcrowded, lots of people pouring in. The wealth is held by a small minority of elite society, while a nation of workers toil for low wages in poor working conditions. So the very small group of people have all the money. And these are industrialists who have a monopoly on businesses such as railroads, steel, social Darwinism, and eugenics. Now, this is something we're going to learn about in the science portion of this class. Have become a driving philosophy of the age with morally shameful consequences. Our scientific component will introduce students to a trending concept in genetics that have broad implications for individuals and for society, especially the poor. Students will be asked to understand the role of DNA in our personal and cultural identities, as well as our understanding of diversity. So you're just going to take a quick look at this. And the first thing you're going to be doing is your activity number 1, which is reading The Gospel of Wealth by Andrew Carnegie. And then you're going to interpret that for us. Also, we're looking at a video that demonstrates the Gilded Age. And the gilded, what is gilded? Gilded is not gold. Gilded is something that's covered in gold, but it's not really gold. And we're going to watch a video about the robber barons. And you can see this little illustration over here shows you that there's a group of sort of fat, contentious looking men being held up by a group of poor men, poorly dressed, looking kind of shabby, who are bearing the weight of all of the robber barons, as they were called. We're going to read about those and watch a movie. Now, you're going to read this excerpt from Andrew Carnegie's Gospel of Wealth. Carnegie was the self-made steel titan who believed that survival of the fittest. If you couldn't make your own money, it's too bad. If you couldn't support yourself, if you couldn't make it in this world and become successful and rich, well, that's just too bad. The disparity between the rich and the poor grows bigger and bigger during this part of the time. Okay, so then we're going to go down. We're going to take a look. You can do this Gilded Mansion tour, which I put in here in our On the Road segment. And this is going to take you on a tour of the Breakers in Newport, Rhode Island, which is an ostentatious huge home that was built during the Gilded Age. And you can just see by looking at this mansion how much money these people had and how disposable it was. And then we're going to take a look at how the other half lived. The wonderful photography done by Jacob Riis. And this is very, very different from the tour of the mansions. Then we're going to look at the war on the weak, okay? The war on the poor, the struggling, the sick, the infirm. And social Darwinism and eugenics is the science of, is the species divided? Are the weak and the feeble a lesser group of people? Are they genetically less? Survival of the fittest implies that you might be genetically gifted, but is there really a difference between people? Is there any value in the belief of eugenics? Well, many people thought there was, and that was a scientific trend. We're going to learn about that. You're going to watch a video on genetics. Okay, now we're moving into our last checkpoint, our first checkpoint for the new quarter. And it's a case study in eugenics. We're going to look about the dark secrets of this now empty island in Maine. So you're going to read about this group of people who were living on an island up in Maine, and they were interracial, and some said that they were feeble-minded. They were poor, but lots of people were poor. The middle class really hadn't developed to a large portion yet. So we're going to talk about forced sterilizations because this was something they did with people that they felt who were genetically inferior. They did not want them to reproduce. So we're looking at perhaps engineering society and mankind. And some of these people from this island that we're going to read about were taken off the island and put into institutions. We're going to study this, and this is our checkpoint 7. So you have a reading, and then you're going to answer the questions. The checkpoint 7. Now this might look like a lot of reading and a lot of work. However, you have a wide window to do this. We have some interruption. We have Veterans Day. We're coming up to Thanksgiving. So you are going to have almost 3 weeks to complete this, not quite. And we will go into a live class where we will actually do the checkpoint 7 together. So mark your calendar and plan to be here for that because you'll get a lot of help. We can brainstorm answers. We can help read the article and decipher the article. It's not long. It's a Newsela article, and you're all probably pretty used to those. So it might look long here, but it's really not. And that's it. So get started. You're going to start out right here with your close reading and your videos. Okay, so let's get those done and do your activities and your readings and your videos. Get yourself up and running so that by the 26th, I think it is, you're ready to start your checkpoint and you've done all of your activities and your readings. Okay, so come and see me if you need to. I'm here, ready to help. I'm going to stop sharing with you. Let me know if you need anything. I think you're going to find this quarter very, very interesting. So we're starting out the Industrial Revolution, cities, migration, eugenics, survival of the fittest. And we'll talk to you soon. Okay?